Welcome to my channel. Let us start our journey for becoming a database developer. And for this video, I will teach you how to download and install MS SQL Server Developer Edition, which is a free version, and it is completely legal for development and testing purposes. You might be asking, why not MySQL? Well, the reason is, this is an MS SQL video. So don't worry, I will create a video soon for MySQL and maybe Postgre SQL. In this episode, we will cover the following. First, downloading and installing the SQL Server Developer Edition. Number 2, applying changes in SQL Server Configuration Manager. And the last one, connecting to the database service via Management Studio. For someone who is new to RDBMS software, what is MSSQL Server? SQL Server is a robust database management software and is designed to compete with other high-end databases like Oracle. The Developer Edition is a full-feature edition for database development and testing. It is 100% free, but it is illegal to use in production. Anyway, here is the comparison of SQL Server editions, and I will include the link in the description below. So here are Enterprise, Standard, Web, Express with Advanced Services, and Express Edition. So Express Edition is completely free. You can use it in production like MySQL. But for this video, we will be using a Developer's Edition because it is like an Enterprise Edition. It is a full feature, but then you can never use that in production. It's illegal. Let's begin the downloading and installation of SQL Server Developers Edition. So on your search bar, you can type SQL Server Developer Edition. And here's the download. So you just have to look for the Microsoft link. Okay, so we have here the free editions, the developer, and the Express. As I've said, Express, you can use it in production, but it has a limited database size, the limited number of cores that you can use. But this time we will be using the developer edition. So click this button, download now. Okay, so just click this file. Yes. We can customize it. And for the media location, so you can either use any folder or use this default. And click install. It may take a while to download the entire installer. After 7 minutes, this is the progress, so it's almost done. So I'll get back to you once the download is finished. It's almost complete, and yeah, we are extracting now the setup files. So it may take a while. I'm using a virtual machine, so the performance is not that good, but in your situation, maybe it's a lot faster. Now the extraction is done, so we are presented with this window. all we need to do is to click the installation and then click this new SQL Server standalone installation. Click next. So you just specify a free edition, developer, click next, accept, and then click next. You don't have to check that one, just skip it, click next. So it takes a few seconds. Let's wait for a while. Okay, so here we have to check the database engine services. This is the most important one. And as an option, if you want to install analysis services, that's one of the features of this SQL Server, or even some reporting services, you can do that here. So in this case, we just have to install the database engine, and that's enough. Let's install the first installation as default instance. So the instance ID is automatically MS SQL Server, or you prefer to have a named instance, but I don't recommend you doing this for the first time. So just click next. And you will be presented with this dialog. And this SQL Server agent, you can put this to manual or automatic, it doesn't really matter. So this is another service that runs in the background for your jobs. Later I will explain that. So for now, we will just leave it as manual. That's okay. The most important one is this, the SQL Server Database Engine, and it's run automatic. So meaning every time you start your computer, your database engine runs. And for the authentication, I always prefer mixed mode so that I can have my own set of accounts, as SQL accounts, instead of using the Windows accounts. So I will just type in the password for my SA. SA is the most powerful user in your database. Or you can have the current logged in Windows as the user. So I have both. So I can log in using SA account, or I can log in as temps. Click next. Then let's proceed to install. This could be a lot faster on a decent machine, especially if you are not using a virtual machine. Okay, the installation is done. Let's check it. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's minimize this for a bit. Let's configure first the ports using SQL Server 2019 Configuration Manager. Yes. So here you just have to look for the protocols for MS SQL Server. Name pipes, let's enable this one. Right click on TCP IP and let's enable this one. Now the default port for MS SQL is 1433. For some reason, it is advisable that you change the port. So instead of 1433, think of something, a number that may not conflict with other applications. For me, I will use this port number. Copy this, paste that, paste that, paste that, paste that. So the changes will be saved, but you have to restart the service. So here in SQL Server Services, this is the service. You just have to stop it. And then start. Let's close this. Now, to connect to the database service, you need Management Studio. But unfortunately, we have installed the service but without the Management Studio. So we have to download that from the internet. So let's go right back to our browser. Download SQL Server Management Studio or SSMS. So here's the link for downloading Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So the download of SSMS is complete. We can now just click this. This is a very straightforward installation. Then click yes. And then click install. Now the installation has been completed. We can click this button to restart. Let's launch now the SSMS. This is the MS SQL Management Studio 18. So this is your GUI version on how you manipulate your database, your tables, your database objects, and etc. You can execute queries here. And now, here is the SSMS or the Management Studio. This tool is actually free as well. You don't pay any license for this. So what you need to do is to type in the server name and then the port. So in my case, the name is Paul PC and then the port. The port is actually optional, but to access it a little faster, typing in the port name would be better. So I am going to use SQL Server Authentication, SA, and then I have to type the password that I specified during the installation. Then I will remember the password because I'll be using this frequently. And there you go. You are already connected to your database service. So here you can create databases, you can manipulate database objects. So that's it, guys. We have successfully installed the SQL service as well as the Management Studio for you to access the database objects and to manipulate database objects. If you do like the video, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon. Thank you, I appreciate it. And for the next video, I will discuss database objects, maybe creating a database and creating tables and some other stuff. And I'll be discussing more on how to use this SSMS. Bye for now.